Hello everyone. Welcome back to the chapter Respiration and Circulation Part 4. In today's lecture, we are going to study about external respiration. Now, before starting with external respiration, let us have a look again at the respiratory system so that the parts will be clear to you. As in the earlier lecture, we had studied that when we inspire, that is, when we take the air inside our body, it goes first into the nose or nostrils, then it comes into the nasal cavity, then larynx, trachea. Trachea divides into bronchi, and bronchi then divide into further branches, which is called as bronchioles. And later bronchioles, it terminates into tiny sac-like structures, which are called as alveoli. Now, as I said, today we are going to study about external respiration. Now, what exactly do you mean by external respiration? Now, external respiration means what? Where the exact gaseous exchange takes place between the alveoli, as I showed these structures, these are called as alveoli, okay, and between the blood. So the exchange of gas between the alveoli and the blood capillary is called as external respiration. We can have a detailed look at the diagram of alveoli. See, these are lungs, okay, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, and bronchioles terminate into alveoli. Many are called as alveoli. In our lungs, there are about 400 millions of alveoli. And the single structure here is the single structure of a alveolus. Single one is called as alveolus. Okay. Now, the alveolus, they are the structural and functional unit of the lungs, which carries the exchange of gases. Now, when we see the structure of alveoli, a single alveolus, it consists of a layer of simple squamous epithelium resting on a basement membrane, and it is intimately associated with a dense network of capillaries. Here in the diagram, you can see, okay, these are the alveolus. What exactly are alveolus? They are the tiny structures. At the end of each bronchiole is a spherical structures. Here you can see they are the spherical structures which are called as alveoli, and the alveoli is bounded or surrounded by network of capillaries. Here you can see two colors, the capillaries in blue color and the capillaries in red color. Now the capillaries in blue color, it indicates deoxygenated blood coming from the pulmonary artery. Whereas the red color, it indicates the capillaries carrying oxygenated blood. And this oxygenated blood goes to the pulmonary vein. And from the pulmonary vein, it goes to the heart, and from the heart, this oxygenated blood is pumped to the different parts of the body. So alveoli, as I said, that it consists of a single squamous epithelium cells. They are thin walled. Okay, and then it is supported by network of capillaries. Now the second part, which is important where the gaseous exchange takes place, is the capillary. Now alveoli, they are also single cell structure, basically consisting of squamous epithelium cells, as well as the capillaries. Now these two structures are very important for the gaseous extent. One is alveolus and other are the capillaries. Now what are capillaries? Capillaries, they are very thin blood vessels. Here you can see these are the capillaries and they are very thin blood vessels. They are so small that a single RBC can barely fit into them. You can see that we have blood vessels. Here is the blood vessel which is called as the artery, and here we have a blood vessel which is called as veins. Now artery, it divides into a branch which is called as arteriole. Arteriole, it further again divides to form a network of blood vessels, and this network of blood vessels, these are called as capillaries. Similarly, here also you can see that this is the vein. Vein, it divides into branch which is called as venule, and venule again divides into a network of branches which is called as again capillaries. What is the function of capillaries? Capillaries help to connect to your artery and to a vein. You can see artery is red in color, that means it carries oxygenated blood, whereas the vein, it shows blue in color, that means it is responsible for carrying deoxygenated blood. Now let us see the structure of capillary. The capillary wall, it is also made up of simple squamous epithelium. It is also made up of single layer of simple squamous epithelium cells. And these cells, they also rest on a thin basement membrane. The capillary walls are thin walled. Okay. Why are the capillary wall as well as the alveolar wall are thin walled? In the first lecture we had studied in the surface area that the surface area, it should be thin walled. Why thin walled? So that diffusion of gases, that is exchange of gases, can easily take place as the walls are thin. If walls are thick, then no exchange of gases, or you can say less exchange of gases will take place. So it is very essential that the surface area should be thin wall. And in the case of alveolus as well as in case of capillary, both the basement membrane are thin wall. And so together the alveoli and the capillaries, they make up the respiratory membrane through which gaseous exchange occurs. Now here one term is important which is called as diffusion, but before that, see the diagram of capillary. You can see capillaries are thin walled and it is made up of single layer of squamous epithelium cells. You can see here that they are a squamous epithelium cells. They are single layered, having a nucleus, and they rest on the basement membrane. Now capillaries, basically they are also blood vessels. That is why you can see they are round in shape. This is called as lumen. Inside the capillary, these are blood cells, basically RBC cells. Now RBC cells, this is the lumen, this is the basement membrane, and these are endothelial cells. That means basically the squamous epithelium cells which is single layered, and that is why exchange of gases is possible. Now as I said, one term is important which is called as diffusion. Now what do you mean by diffusion of gases? Diffusion, it is a process where gaseous atoms or molecules are transferred from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Now, what is higher concentration and what is lower concentration? Now, I have a region where the concentration is 60 millimeter Hg, whereas the other region it has 30 millimeter Hg. एक रीजन के पास 60 है, दूसरे रीजन के पास 30 है. तो क्या होगा, जो एरिया में 60 मिलीमीटर Hg है वहां के गैस एटम्स और मॉलिक्यूल्स कहाँ ट्रांसफर हो गए? टू द लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन, टू द रीजन ऑफ लोअर कॉन्सेंट्रेशन. एक रीजन में 60 है, दूसरे रीजन में 30 है. तो 60 में जो गैस एटम्स एंड मॉलिक्यूल्स हैं वो कहाँ ट्रांसफर हो गए? दे विल ट्राई to transfer, they will move or they will diffuse and mixing, they will move into the region of lower concentration यानी जहाँ पे 30 है. So this process of transfer of gaseous atoms or molecules from region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, इस process को बोलते हैं diffusion. But one more term here is very important, which is called as partial pressure. Now, what do you mean by partial pressure? Here also they have shown diffusion will takes place from an area of higher partial pressure. Here we are considering the term partial pressure. What do you mean by partial pressure? Now we can explain partial pressure. Okay, let us first study the concept partial pressure. Now, air, we know air is a mixture of gases. अपना atmospheric air है, उसमें बहुत सारे gases होते हैं. So, these gases basically or primarily, the primary gases are nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor and carbon dioxide. Now, each gas component in this mixture exerts a pressure. हर एक गैस जो है एटमॉस्फेयर में वो क्या करता है? एक प्रेशर एक्सर्ट करता है. And this exertion of pressure of an individual gas is called as partial pressure. Okay, so the pressure of an individual gas in the mixture is called as partial pressure of that particular gas. Okay, you can see the pressure exerted. अपने एयर में क्या है? बहुत सारा mixture of gases है. So हर एक गैस क्या करता है? It exerts a pressure. So the pressure exerted by an individual gas, हर एक individual gas कितना pressure exert करता है in a mixture of gas is called as partial pressure. Let us see in the diagrammatic form. Here you can see that we have a mixture of gases. Okay, we have a mixture of gas A, mixture of gas B and C. These are the three gases which are forming mixture. So gas A, how much pressure it is exerting, that is called as partial pressure of gas A. This much is partial pressure of gas B. And this is the partial pressure of gas C. So each gas, how much pressure it is exerting, that is called as partial pressure of that particular gas. लेकिन it will try to always maintain the equilibrium. How much time, how much the gases will be transferred from higher region, that is higher concentration, to lower concentration until it maintains equilibrium. You can see here we have many atoms or molecules or gases at a particular temperature, and here all the atoms or molecules, they are equally distributed. That means here they are trying to maintain a equilibrium. So this is P indicates partial pressure. Okay, partial pressure of A, partial pressure of gas B and partial pressure of gas C. So I hope you understood the concept partial pressure. And this partial pressure is very much important in case of exchange of gas between the alveoli and the capillary. Now, when we see the partial pressure of carbon dioxide of blood entering the pulmonary capillary is 45 mmHg, that is 45 millimeter of mercury, while the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in alveolar air is 40 millimeter of Hg. As we know that when we inspire, we take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. So हमें देखना पड़ेगा कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का पार्शियल प्रेशर कितना है कैपिलरी के अंदर एंड as well as in the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the alveoli. As well as we need to consider the partial pressure of oxygen in the lungs, in the alveoli, and in the capillary. So considering this partial pressure only, gaseous exchange takes place. See, here is the diagram, a proper diagram. Here you can see this is the alveolar cavity. Okay, we take in oxygen when we inspire and we give out carbon dioxide when we expire. Now, this is a alveoli. Two structures are very important for gaseous exchange. The entire alveoli, and outside it is bounded. As we know that outside it is bounded by network of capillary. Alveoli का भी क्या है? It is made up of single layer of squamous epithelium cells that rest on basement membrane. Here is the basement membrane. Here you can see this is the basement membrane. Here is a thin film of moisture. In the alveolus, thin film of moisture भी है. So what is the function of moisture? Oxygen and carbon dioxide easily dissolves in the moisture. So this is the structure of alveolus. It has a single layer of squamous epithelium cells which rest on basement membrane. It is bounded or surrounded by a network of capillary. See here, this is the capillary. This is the capillary and this is the squamous epithelium of alveolus. Now, as I said, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide of blood in the capillary is 45 millimeter. It is 45 millimeter Hg, while the partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the alveolar sac it is 40 mg. कैपिलरी के अंदर कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड पार्शियल प्रेशर ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड कितना है 45. एल्वेलर सैक के अंदर कितना है 40. Okay, 45 millimeter of mercury or mmHg. Here it is 40 mmHg. So as we studied that partial pressure में क्या होता है, it moves from higher concentration to the lower concentration. कैपिलरी का concentration कितना है कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का 45 millimeter Hg, whereas the concentration of alveolar sac, the concentration of carbon dioxide in the blood of alveolar sac is 40 mg. So here you can see all the CO2, it is diffusing out. It is diffusing out from the capillary into the alveolar sac, and from the alveoli it is then given out. Okay. Whereas when we consider the concentration of oxygen, when we see the concentration of oxygen, the partial pressure, the concentration of partial pressure of oxygen in the alveolar sac, it is about 104 mm of Hg, whereas the partial pressure of oxygen in the capillary, it is only 40 mm. Partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli, it is 104 mmHg, whereas capillary में oxygen का concentration और oxygen का partial pressure कितना है, it is 40 mg. So here oxygen, it diffuses from higher concentration, that is from 104 mmHg. It will go into the, or it will diffuse, oxygen will diffuse into the red blood cells, into the capillaries, which is having 40 mmHg. Yes, you are getting it. So oxygen, it diffuses into the red blood cells. These are the capillary, this is the capillary, and this is the alveolar sac. Okay, when we inspire, that means it has oxygenated oxygen, or yes, it has oxygen. Oxygen, the partial pressure of oxygen here is 104 mmHg, whereas the partial pressure of oxygen in the capillary, it is only 40 mmHg. So all the oxygen, it diffuses into the red blood cells. Okay, whereas the concentration of carbon dioxide in the red blood cells, अपनी body क्या करती है, all the cells, they carry out metabolic process, and they take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. You can see the pulmonary artery, it is bringing all the deoxygenated blood. Okay, the pulmonary artery, it is carrying all the deoxygenated blood. This deoxygenated blood, it has carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide concentration here, it becomes 45, whereas alveolar में concentration of CO2, it is 40. So all the carbon dioxide, it is given out. So in this way, the equilibrium pressure is maintained, and thus you can see exchange of gas is taking place between the alveoli and between the capillary. So this exchange of gas between the alveoli and between the capillary, this is called as external respiration. Okay, as I said, partial pressure of oxygen in the capillary, it is 40 mmHg, whereas the alveolar blood is 104 mmHg. So due to this difference, oxygen diffuses from the alveoli to the capillary. Again, the same diagram. Okay, we had seen about carbon dioxide, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide and the partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, so this entire lecture shows how the external respiration takes place. So I hope you understood the concept of external respiration. That's it for today. Thank you.